Obviously, you've turned up with a bit of a shiner because...
well, I got hit by a clean shot.
The good lady wife has hit you with the straight left hook, by the looks of things. We all put it down to Paul Gray, but we know who really's smacked you on. So,
actually, where you are, Jace, you're within my reach. I can't reach Andy from there, but
that's all right.
I can hit Trinder with a left.
I'm all right with that. Absolutely fine with that.
Absolutely fine.
No, different weight divisions, Jason. You wouldn't stand a chance.
Well, you being featherweight, what's Jason?
Well, I walked past one of those I speak your weight building sites today again. You know, when you walk past them, you go, "Oh, you fat." Come on then, let's get this out of the way.
Here's Jason Mohammad in that famous Cardiff City shirt. He'll be the one to take the free kick, stands over the ball, 25 yards out. Bellamy to his right, curls it. Oh my word, what a finish! A beauty from Mohammad. Keeper absolutely no chance.
So here we go at Craven Cottage, a cold and frosty New Year's Day, and it is Fulham who get us underway. And Hamill picks up the ball and shoots! What a goal! Past the Mansfield Town keeper Jason Trinder and into the top corner with only 7 seconds on the clock. Trinder was still waving to the fans. That has to be a record. Fulham lead 1-0.
Cardiff City on the attack down the right-hand side here in Indian Park, heading towards the Grange end. Talisman Phil Stant has the ball, looking for Robbie James, passes it back, finds Robbie James. Now Robbie James is looking for somebody. He crosses in, he finds somebody. It's Andy Gorman, bullet header, back of the net. Andy Gorman scores for Cardiff City in front of the Grange end, and they're bouncing around like Zebedee.
Hello again, and welcome to Abitablue Euro Trash, the biggest and the best Euro 2020 podcast with me, Jason Trinder.
Me, Andy Gorman.
And me, Jason Mohammad. Yes, the podcast that puts the trash in the Euros. Quite what I'm doing here is beyond me, but my new Maserati parked outside in the studio may have something to do with it. Lovely to be back, boys. Lovely to be back. Can I just say, though, lads, before we go any further, I'm sure you'll agree with me here, all our thoughts and prayers are with Christian Eriksen and the Danish team and the nation, lads.
Absolutely crazy watching that game with what went on. It's just, I think it's what happened with Fabrice Muamba many years ago. I think things have gone forward now, but it's the fact that he's come around was just fantastic, because it did look really bad at the point.
Yeah,
It was so frightening.
It was awful. I mean, everybody was naturally shocked to see what happened in Copenhagen on Saturday night, and all of us here at Abitablue wish Christian a very speedy recovery. Our thoughts wholeheartedly with the Eriksen family and the Denmark team. It was horrible to see, but credit first to those first responders there, and the awareness out there now at sporting events to respond to these situations is definitely the reason why Christian is still with us. So
absolutely,
awareness of what to do from the players as well as the medical staff certainly made a big difference.
Well said, JT.
So lots of love from us all at Abitablue. So here we are again, episode 1. Follow up from the hugely successful preview.
Some of the reviews we've had on Twitter were unbelievable, weren't they?
We've had some incredible reviews. We've had some great feedback, some great followers, and some lovely comments as well.
Really nice.
And an incredible amount of downloads and streams of the podcast. So you can find it out there on all your normal podcast platforms, whether that's Apple, whether that's Spotify, whether that's Google, whether that's all the others. It's out there everywhere. So yes, we're back, and huge thanks also go to our main sponsors, iStadia Solutions and Alex James. If you want a business on a screen, then get in touch with Alex. And thanks also to Hooks, Gentlemen's Outfitters in Cardiff, the best men's clothing shop in the capital city of Wales.
Nice one, Russ.
Great service from Russell and the team there. Get in there and get suited up. In fact, they're the official clothing suppliers to this podcast. So have a look at our socials and all his lot looking sharp. And he's got a bit of a discount on for you as well. If you go there and have a look at some of the clobber he's got, get suited out and just say at the till, I'm with the Abitablue crew.
Sounds great, that.
I know.
Yeah.
He'll give you 20% off.
20% off? That's a deal, that, isn't it?
It's a deal done. So, unbelievable. And also thanks to the brilliant Mark Webber, Chris Wise and Will Perry for the wonderful commentaries on our opening titles. Epic work, that, lads.
Brilliant.
Sponsors, thanks for their unwavering support over the past few weeks as we've been building up to this, episode 1. Thanks for all your lovely messages on the podcast. We are genuinely moved by them all. It's really important. Most importantly, we want you to get in touch with us, because this is all about you, the fans. Get in touch with us on the Abitablue socials. Email us at info@abitablue.co.uk, because unlike the other podcasts, Jace, they don't care about the listeners. And
they don't care about listeners.
They're tired, boring football opinions.
No names being mentioned.
This is about you, the fans. So get in touch with us. We've got some unbelievable prizes to give away, and including an unbelievable prize for the final show as we head into Euro 2025.
That prize is going to be amazing.
So you need to stay tuned to this show.
There
and
is no
subscribe.
other podcast right out there that is offering the prize that we've got. I tell you that something though, a lot of people laughed their heads off at you explaining your commentary that Chris did about Fulham's quickest goal of all time.
Yep.
You're in goals.
Yep.
A lot of people also said Andy's header then. I want to know about Andy's header, so take it away, And.
Well, this was...
Let's see if this is
here
as
we go.
popular as my comments.
Well, there we go. It may not be as popular, but it will be.
It will be.
Yeah, there we go. So this was basically Cardiff City against York City, 1992-93, Boxing Day. So what basically happened was we stayed in the Copthorne Hotel in Cardiff on Christmas Day night.
On Christmas Day night?
On Christmas Day night.
You had a night in Culverhouse Cross.
In Culverhouse Cross, unbelievable. Which is probably about a mile away from Ninian Park at the time.
Yeah, you had a night in Ely.
We did indeed. So some of the older players there were really, really gutted about not having to have their kids on Christmas Day night. But they weren't allowed to drink. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But there we go. So anyway, I got picked to play in the game. Started at left back, which
Who
I'd
was
never
the manager?
played. Eddie May.
Eddie May. Eddie May.
Eddie May used to call me Andy Gorman as well, like the ex Rangers goalkeeper. So, and he called me that for a number of years. But anyway, so I started at left back on Boxing Day against York. We very, very quickly went into a 2-0 lead from 2 goals from Phil Stant. And I was having a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. I was played at left back, which I'd never played before. So Eddie May thought that he would change myself and Damon Searle around. So I went on to left wing. Never played left wing before in my life as well. So as I was running forward, we broke down the right-hand side with Phil Stant. He passed it back to Robbie James, and I was just loitering in the box at the 18-yard box, and Robbie James crossed it, and I got onto the end of a header and walloped it past Dean Kine.
It was an unbelievable header, I have to say. And I watched it back the other day on YouTube, and there's that moment where you fall to your knees as well. Were you surprised it went in?
Absolutely, yeah. And then I had Anthony Bird on my back then. It was a bit of a lump as well. I couldn't get up. That was
a
the problem.
great header. I was in the Grange End. I was there that day with a couple of my mates, and I still remember, and when I met you, I was like, you scored that amazing header against York. I tell you something, and I know Jace is like, he's yawning here as if to say, how long is this going on for? Right? I have to say, and
Greg,
your goal...
Have you got a fork, Greg? I'm going to stab myself in the arm.
I'll do that for you. We've got a machete.
I have to say, Jace, you might not like this, right? But his goal, I tell you, Andy's goal, City fans of an age remember your header against York City.
They do.
That's the way it is.
They're the question that I get asked all the time about, how did I feel after that goal? But, I was 17 at the time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It was one of those feelings that I'll never forget.
You'll never forget that. And it was back in the day when the Grange End, and it was packed, the Grange End, had the surge as well.
It did.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah, because it got split down then after a couple of years, didn't it? Because obviously the way
then they put a roof on it. It was never the same.
But the ironic thing about it was the fact that I'd had a particularly bad game. So documented in the South Wales Echo, which is, for you guys who don't understand, it's a local newspaper in South Wales.
Is this story ever going to end?
So no, it was the next day, and do you remember, Jace? Do you remember they used to give scores out of 10?
Scores, yeah, marks out of 10.
So I had 5 out of 10, and I scored a goal.
What? And you scored a header? You had a 5?
And it documented that someone had thrown a pasty at me as well, because I was having that much of a nightmare. But that wasn't true, because I probably would have caught it in my mouth and eaten it.
You probably would have. You probably would have.
Like a seal.
But the most important thing in this, and this is so Cardiff City, and this is so you. We were 3-0 up and we drew 3-3.
We did indeed, yeah. Well, ironically, when he took me off, we went to, I think we were 3-1 down, or 3-1 up, sorry.
Oh,
and,
is it when
then
pivotal, yeah?
Pivotal moment,
yeah.
When they took
That's right,
me
they
off
were
story.
Yeah.
That's right, they were too busy laughing at my performance, so there we go. Anyway, so that was my goal.
Great story, great commentary, great story. Back to you, Jason.
Well, we'll lose a lot of that in the edits. Anyway.
He's got such a way with words, Jason.
I know.
He's got such a way with words.
Exactly.
So, yes, we've got some new features. Question of the week. We've been asking one of you lucky listeners or all of you lucky listeners to come in with your questions.
Yeah, I hope there's more than one person.
One person.
What the hell am I doing here?
No, there's lots of them out there.
6.
Yeah. to give us your questions of the week, and we've had some fantastic ones.
I had some great ones.
We've had some great questions, so thanks for that. And we had a bit of a partnership going with the Sock Council now. These guys do proper good socks.
Yeah.
I've got a pair, you've got a pair.
Yeah. You bought me a lovely pair of whale socks, didn't you?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jace. He's a very kind man, I have to say,
Didn't buy me
Jace.
any.
He
You
bought me
don't
a
wear
pair.
socks.
Yeah, that's all right.
I think we.
Well, it's the thought that counts.
Well, what can I say?
Sock off.
Put a sock in it.
Yeah.
So yes, we've had some great questions, and the one that we've chosen out was from Mr. Andrew Gorman saying, "Will Jason Mohammad ever turn up on time for a podcast recording?"
The thing is, boys, look,
thanks for that, Andy.
I work in showbiz, right? And often when you're the star, you're allowed to be a little bit late.
No, a little bit. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
We've made our feelings quite known.
You have
actually.
indeed.
All right, there's going to be no more Star Bars, Lion Bars, Sherbet Dib Dabs, or Rockies coming his way.
Okay.
For you guys,
is this a punishment?
For you guys who are watching on YouTube, I actually shaved this morning, so I'm like this now, waiting for Jason Mohammad to turn up.
Sorry, boys. Sorry. But anyway, the Sock Council, they make great socks, don't they, Jason?
They do, and thank you very much for the Sock Council for getting involved with us. They see a good pod. They know a good podcast.
Of course they do. They know class. Yeah.
So they've got on board. They got on board with us like the nation should. So, but we have picked a winner, and it's from you at Pittman Lewis. I don't know whether I've said that the right way around. I'm thinking it's Lewis Pittman.
Yeah, probably.
But thanks for that, Lewis or Pittman, whatever your first name is. What player? His question was.
Yeah.
What player from Wales' past would you love to have in the current squad?
It's a great question.
That is a great question.
Lewis / Pittman
went
with Robert Earnshaw up there with Kiefer up top. So I know what my player would be.
Go on then, go for it then.
But I'm going to.
Oh, you're going to go to me first?
Well, I'm leaving the best till last.
All right, okay.
That'll be me.
I'll go over to you first, Jason Mohammad.
Okay, the only striker. I love
Gone for a
Ernie.
striker as well.
Sorry?
Gone for a striker as well?
I'm going for a striker,
Okay,
yeah. Rushy.
I
mean, come on. I mean, Rushy, living legend, Rushy, you know.
Absolutely.
Was our record goal scorer until Bale took over,
So,
of course.
Would you have him then up top instead of Kiefer?
Oof, that's a great
you play him alongside
question.
him,
Well, you
wouldn't
could play him alongside.
Yeah, you
you
could
could
do.
play. I mean, you know, we played with
You
Sparky
could do
and
if you're going to
Rushy.
bottle it and not say, but put Kiefer on the bench. That's what you could do, yeah.
Well, as a City fan, I don't really want to bench Kiefer, do I?
No, exactly.
You know,
no.
I think you could play the two of them, couldn't you, as well?
Ian Rush lived off scraps, didn't he, at the end of the day? And he would score goals that.
But one of the hardest working strikers
absolutely.
ever.
Yeah.
You look at how much running he did, chasing down.
He got on the pitch, yeah.
Absolutely unerring in front of goal.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Andrew?
Well, I've gone for a player who is, Welsh-born through and through, absolute superstar. I'd say Vinnie Jones.
Vinnie Jones.
No. In all seriousness, I go for Sparky.
Gouldy gave him his debut, didn't he, Vinny?
Oh, God, yeah. Well, there you go, then. That tells you it all, doesn't it? No, Mark Hughes for me. Absolute
Mark Hughes,
legend.
another striker.
That's a great shout.
Definitely
great
Mark
shout.
Hughes.
Good strike. Well, you're both wrong.
Thanks.
Oh, I know what he's doing. I know what's coming here.
The best
Nev.
player, absolutely.
Here it is.
I mean, the best
I
player
knew
you
it.
could, was Neville Southall, without a shadow of a doubt.
Jace, can I just say, you are allowed to have an opinion on other players on other positions in a football pitch.
Well, yeah.
I know you're a goalkeeper.
I get that.
But you are allowed to talk.
Yeah.
We know you're wrong when you talk about other aspects of the football pitch.
Yeah.
But you can move away from the goalkeeping jersey.
Why would you? That because that's 100% the correct answer. Neville Southall.
The only player out of them all.
Well,
Yep.
to be fair, JM, he doesn't know anything about any other position anyway, does he? So that's why he goes to goalkeeper all
So
the time.
that is the end of that debate, and I think you'll find I'm right.
Yeah, I have to say, it is a good shout. But how interesting that we've gone for players who never qualify for a major finals. We've gone from that
Good
era,
point.
all three of us.
Good
I mean,
point.
and that is the thing, as a Wales fan, when I look back at the misery that we had, and this is why, I say this to my kids now, that you should just love these moments, because look at what they're doing, this squad of players. Sparky, one of the greatest strikers this country's ever produced.
Yep.
Rushy.
Yep.
I mean, at the time, Sparky went to Barcelona, didn't he? Rushy went to Juventus. We had the priciest strike force in the whole of Europe.
We did.
And we had the best keeper in the world. And we still didn't qualify.
We didn't have anything between. That's the problem.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, we did, but
It wasn't very good.
no, that's right. But you're right, though. That's crazy.
Well, listen, that was a great question.
Fantastic question.
Pittman,
Keep them coming.
Pittman
Lewis,
Lewis Pittman.
A nice pair of socks on the way.
You will be getting a pair of socks of your choice from the Sock Council. So give us a DM with your details on the socials, and we'll get them off to you as soon as possible. So thanks very much. So and it's been an interesting week. So listen, back to where we were, what all this is about, which is about the Euros. It's all finally kicked off. Wales have played, England have played, Scotland have played, Belgium have played, Austria have played, Macedonia,
North Macedonia.
So we'll talk a lot about the games with the guest of the show today.
Fantastic guest.
Now, have we yet again, I might add, pulled it out of the bag with a quality guest.
Absolutely.
It's none other than Wales international and Euro 2016 legend Neil Taylor. How excited are we?
Well done, boys.
I
I tell you something. For a new podcast, you are knocking these guests out of the park. I just wonder who's booking them.
Yeah.
I wonder who the major contact is.
Yes,
I wonder who it is.
Brilliant. There's a lot more of them.
That was uncalled for. That was uncalled for, wasn't it, Greg? That was uncalled for.
Oh, you just wait.
A lot more of them to come.
So we've had obviously Wales, Switzerland, England, Croatia, Scotland, Czech Republic. So we'll talk about those games with Neil, because he'd be fantastic to get his
brilliant
to get his opinion on all that. But have you been enjoying it, guys? Jason, what have you thought?
Thoroughly enjoying it. It's
games?
fantastic.
Wales?
What I love about the opening couple of rounds is that every time a game finishes, you're thinking, and there's another one on.
Absolutely,
it's brilliant.
yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, I know.
And that Netherlands game was just terrific. That's been the game of the tournament so far, isn't it?
Brilliant
Netherlands
game.
against Ukraine.
Absolutely brilliant.
But I think Wales' second half were better. First half, Switzerland, look, they'll be disappointed they didn't win it. But, you've got to stay in it. And a tournament, as Neil will tell you later on, it's about building momentum. We're still in it, thanks to Kiefer Moore. Fantastic header. What impressed me the most, and Andy, I'll talk to you about this, because Jason knows nothing about anything other than the goalkeeping position as well. Although he may come in on this. And I talked to a couple of people over the last couple of days on social media as well, is the position he took up. The position he took up for the header, that is just why he is a top-notch striker.
I think, Jace, you're absolutely right. I think those sort of things, you can't be coached.
Yeah.
It's instinct, because obviously where he was stood, where he came from to where he actually headed the ball, the majority of strikers would already be in that position. But he kind of hang out as well and then thought, right, I can see just about when the ball's going to be played in. Ball gets played in, bang, header into the back of the net.
And execution as well. Remember, There's still a lot of work to do. And we've seen it all season, haven't we, playing for Cardiff City. That is the reason why this boy could play at a higher level.
Well, he had a chance in the first half, which the keeper Sommers has pulled off an excellent save, tipped it over the bar. I thought he, again, super critical.
Yeah.
But I think if he puts that another yard or so
either side
in the corner, then Sommers not getting anywhere near that.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to question whether the keeper should have caught it or not.
I would have caught that one, absolutely. Brought it down to the chest and booted it straight into the centre forward.
But what did you think, though, overall? Did you think it was the right team, first of all? Was it the right team selection?
I had a couple of reservations with regards
here we
to,
go. Can't wait for this.
He's had a couple of reservations at a lot of places this week, ladies and gentlemen.
Has he? Yeah.
Hence why he's been in the gym most of today.
Yeah, debate. It's very debatable, but a couple of positions. I do think that I know we'll probably touch on it a little bit later. Is Harry Wilson?
Yeah,
because he's done particularly well for Cardiff this season, and I thought he deserved a start. But again, it was. I don't think the setup was right. Positional wise, but again, I thought a couple of players were quiet, but I don't think that was their fault. I think it was because of the setup and the way they were playing, because we've started off really, really well, with Daniel James getting at their defence, and then we stopped doing it, and I don't know why.
Jace?
Yeah, there was obviously listening to a lot of people's feedback and the commentary team at the game. The likes of Brooks, Ampadu, Wilson and Williams would have been disappointed not to start. I think a couple of those might get a start against Turkey, so we'll see what it goes with. But I thought he got the one position quite spot on, which is the goalkeeper. Obviously.
Wow, how did I know this was coming?
We knew this was coming.
So, but I'm a big.
He did play well, Mike. Fair play.
He made some great saves.
Yeah,
he did keep us in the game. being super critical. I might have thought, if it was me in goal, I might have come for that cross, which has led to the Swiss goal. But we'll have a chat with Neil about that.
But on the flip side of that as well, we've got Roberts marking him, who doesn't seem to jump, and he gets caught facing the wrong way against a player who's taller than him. And then further on into the game, we've got Joe Allen marking him from a corner. So it's kind of like the setup, and these guys get told who to mark. They would have been told who to mark, and then you've got two different players marking the same player. There's something not right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, he's 100% kept us and won that game for us, Wardy.
Did.
I don't think.
Well done, Wardy.
I don't think Bale and Aaron Ramsey have disappeared a lot at
Ramsey
times.
too deep.
Too deep.
Way too deep. And we'll ask Neil about this as well,
Yeah,
because obviously
definitely.
he's had Ramsey in front of him as well.
Yeah.
Is that Aaron needs to be in that position, in that 10 position where he can impact a game.
He needs the ball.
I don't want to see Ramsey picking the ball up from a centre half.
Absolutely right.
No point.
No.
And that's what Morel and Joe Allen were there for. But what you got to remember as well, though, lads, as well, because a lot of people are talking about like, oh yeah, Bale, we need to get him on the ball. Ramsey, we need to get him on the ball. Joe Allen didn't look like the Joe Allen we know. 5 years, boys, since 2016.
Yep.
These boys are 5 years older.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there were times where our midfield just looked a bit pedestrian, and that's the reason why so many people are saying, get Harry Wilson in that side for a bit of zip.
I agree.
So, obviously England's got off to a good start against Croatia. Solid.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw the team sheet, mind. I did look at that, and I thought Reece James, and I think we mentioned this on the podcast, didn't we, last week? We did. That I thought Reece James, given how well he played in the Champions League final, he's a shoo-in at right back.
Yeah.
I was surprised to see Raheem Sterling playing. I have to say, I texted you, Jace, didn't I?
Yeah.
I said, I can't believe Sterling's playing. And then whilst you were on the phone, he scored.
I think he's rewarded Gareth Southgate with a goal, but I think he might. I think he might be rested for the next game, for the Scotland game, is it?
Scotland next Friday night.
Do you think, though, because I watched that game, and again, we can talk about the lineup for England, but the Croatia team, they just didn't seem to turn up. And I've said this to a couple of other guys on social media with regards to Croatia, and a lot of the responses I got from the guys who live in England was that England were that good. Now I didn't see it that way. I thought Croatia are just not the same team whatsoever.
They're not again.
They're not.
Couple of years
they're 5 years older.
Yeah. Well, they're 3 years older than the World Cup side that got to the final, aren't they?
True.
Absolutely.
Again, they're not the side they were.
No way. Absolutely right.
And again, and something else we can pick up with Neil, because he's got a couple of mates of his playing in the England side.
Mm-hmm, yeah. One of them is a special player.
Yes.
One of them's a very special player.
Who didn't play.
Didn't play. And a lot of people had him down. A lot of people thought Grealish would be playing.
And sadly, Scotland didn't get off to the best of start against the Czech Republic today. It was great watching that with the fans. The Scottish fans are something else, really.
Yeah,
they can make some noise.
Similar to the Welsh fans, obviously, when they get together. But they made a hell of a noise for the national anthem and all the way during the game. So they huffed and puffed a lot, the Scottish team, but sadly didn't get anywhere. Czech Republic's second goal, then, if you want to talk about goalkeeping with our mate Marshy. Did you see that?
Oh, poor Marshy.
I don't have a problem, right, with goalkeepers being sort of on the edge of the penalty box.
Playing like a sweeper.
But on that occasion, when Scotland are midway through the Czech Republic half, Marshy's nearly on the centre circle line.
Yeah. Well, he's almost playing sweeper for them.
Yeah. So, of course, when it all breaks down and the Czech Republic guy, what was his name?
Schick.
Just looks up and just wallops it.
But he's still got a lot to do, hasn't he?
He has got a lot to do.
In fairness, he's got a lot to do there. That's got to be one of the greatest international goals of all time.
Fantastic.
If not the best Euros goal of all time.
I used to play with his brother, Lolly.
Lolly stick. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a tremendous strike.
It
though,
was.
Isn't it? It's a sensational strike. Poor Marshy gets stuck in the net as well.
Didn't he just? I know. Yeah, but if
that happen to you when you're picking the ball out of the net? You get stuck in the net like that.
All net rash.
Net rash.
Did you get tangled in the net?
He's losing his hair because of net rash.
Actually, I'm thinking. I watched as soon as I saw that goal go in. Right, I thought to myself, I need to do a podcast with someone who's been lobbed from the halfway line.
God.
Do we know anyone who's been
we
done
do.
from the halfway line?
Oh, let me have a think.
Let me have a think.
Let me have a think.
If only we could find a guest on a podcast who's been lobbed from the halfway line.
Well, I think
after 7 seconds.
We'll have to put our heads together on that one.
Yeah, we'll have to find someone.
Yeah,
Do you know anyone, Jason?
I wasn't lobbed. It was
What were you then?
It was a strike from about 40, 50 yards.
That's even worse.
Straight in
This
the
is the
top,
Rory
straight in the
Hamill.
top right-hand corner.
How's he hit that from 50 yards?
Because he's a good player, Jason.
You'd have saved it if you weren't waving to
Waving
the
to
bloke
the
in the
fans.
corner.
Exactly, ordering a hot dog from the
He was
stand.
waving to the 3 Mansfield Town fans.
He's ordering fish and chips from Grimsby there.
Yes, so if you're wondering what we're referring to, just spin back the podcast and have a listen to that bit of commentary, because Jason holds the record of conceding the fastest ever goal at Craven Cottage.
That's entirely true.
And we love you for it, Jace.
Thank you very much.
Can I just say something with regards to...
Move on.
Okay, thanks. No, I just want to put a shout out there to...
To San Pellegrino, thanks for the drinks. And cheers.
And Rocky Bars. No, I just wanted to say something to with regards to... did anyone watch the Australia-North Macedonia game?
Australia, are they?
Yeah.
Australia.
Australia.
The Euros have taken a dramatic turn.
Exactly.
I know they're in the Eurovision Song Contest, but that's ridiculous.
And I actually read that. I got Austria down
Australia
here.
against North Macedonia.
Right, okay, it's an Australia game for the North Macedonia game.
Yeah.
Mr. Alaba, who's just gone from Bayern Munich to Real
good
Madrid.
player.
I feel really, really sorry for him, I do. Yeah. £500,000 a week. He's just signed a contract for Real Madrid. So I just want to put a shout out there to him, just to relax and chill out. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be absolutely fine. £500,000.
How will he
week.
cope?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Wow. Well, where's he
This is
going to live?
almost as much as Crocodile Dundee gets for playing for Australia at right back. Yeah, he's a very snappy centre forward, that guy.
Australia against North Macedonia.
Good
That's
day,
brilliant.
welcome.
There was a great moment, by the way, because I've listened to the podcast 9 times. Because you
9?
guys, I listened to it 9 times. It was so good.
That's why I got the email.
And I
about
know
all
you
the
shouldn't
downloads.
celebrate your own work, but I do. I listened back to it, and there's a great moment in podcast 1 where Jason turned around and says, yeah, this podcast is called It's All Kicking Off in Europe. Because it is. He went all Brexit on us. Do you know what I mean?
On many levels.
He went on many levels. I was like, what? He's going all Brexit on us.
Yeah.
Just following on, here's a stat for you as well. Just following on from that on that game of Australia against North Macedonia.
Yeah.
Goran Pandev is the youngest scorer of any major tournament for North Macedonia at the age of 37.
Really? Youngest or oldest?
Youngest.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's the oldest then?
Pandev.
Really?
They've never been any before, have they? I worked that out on my own as well.
That is so good.
That's
that
my one
is
bit of
brilliant.
research. There you go.
That is brilliant.
Where do Australia play their home ground? Is it Ramsey Street? Their home games?
Joe Mangles, the coach. They send the game ball on with Bouncer.
The mascot's Bouncer the dog.
Especially for you.
Yeah.
Hey, hello. You're all
There
week.
we go.
You're all summer. You're all summer, and then we'll see what happens.
So we have got. I think we might get Neil Taylor involved.
Definitely.
Now you're going to bring him on?
Should we give him?
Yeah, why not? Should we give him a
let's
call?
bring him on.
Well, let's give him a call and see what Neil's got to say.
Let's get him on.
Okay, so guys, last week we're episode 1, the preview to Euro 2020. We had the amazing Jermaine Beckford on the show. We've only gone and got another legend.
Oh,
We have.
Who?
Only Euro 2016 hero and Wales legend, Neil Taylor!
Taylor. There he is.
There he is on the Zoom call again. How are you, Neil?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. It sounded like my wrestling intro. I loved it. That was really good.
No, that's funny you should say that, actually, because do you know JM's just rocked up with a black eye? Ask him about that.
Oh, what's happened there then?
Right, so one of the reasons why I'm late, Neil, is because I did a 5K in the gym and then we decided to do a little bit of sparring at the end. And in the round 2, I dodged a right and walked into a left. So I walked in, and as soon as I walked into the green room of the studio here, I said to these two clowns, we may as well get this out of the way before you mention it on the podcast. So I've got a nice little bruise above my eyebrow here. But you should see the state of...
I don't know what the insurance laws are, right? I guess I'm not allowed to ski, am I, ride a motorbike? someone who presents shows surely can't be boxing.
Well, he's got a face of radio, hasn't he? So
Yeah. And he very rarely does anything which has got anything dangerous attached to it at all, do you, really?
Apart from this podcast.
Yeah.
Which is very dangerous. Working with you two clowns.
And to be fair, the 9-year-old kid who hit him is gone now. He's retired. So.
You were racing him in the 5K as well, were you?
Well, it's great to have you, Neil. You're looking fantastic.
What's your 5K time, Jace? Just out of interest.
Today I
fine
did
question.
26:35 today.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
Very good.
It's not bad for a 47-year-old.
No, that's very good. Very
You're
good.
47.
How old are you?
46.
Are you really?
Yeah.
God, you look 60.
No, thanks.
So anyway, thanks, Neil. Let's crack on with the reason why we're here. Obviously, talking about the Euros. Wales have got their game out of the way. A decent draw, I would say. I think we all agree we were happy with the draw at the end of that game. Switzerland started off very, very strong. We came back into it later on in the game, and old Kiefer Moore pops up with the equaliser there. So we've got to be happy with that. Yeah, that start going into Turkey game.
Yeah. I think. In hindsight, looking back on the game, delighted with the draw, with how the game went. I thought Switzerland were pretty good actually. They adopted a formation that's very difficult to play against. I thought we started the game great, and I thought we're going to run away with this in the first 5-10 minutes. And then the Swiss just got control. It looked really, really hot, mind. People were talking about the England game being hot. And these lads have got 2 games out in Baku, which is really, really difficult. And I think to play the counter-attacking football that I think suits us down to the ground is very hard in that heat. So given that, we'll take the point. What you don't want to be doing is losing that first game. So, yeah, looking back at it, you've got to say good.
What did you think of the starting lineup, Neil?
Give or take, I thought it was going to be around that. I had Ethan Ampadu to play instead of Joe Morel, I think. Bar that, I thought I had Ben Cabango down as well instead of Chris Meckham to start, just because I like what I've seen of him. But I've watched a lot of Swansea. I probably haven't watched as much as Bournemouth this season. Mm-hmm. But I liked him, and I thought he was good to be alongside Joe Rogan.
What about Harry Wilson?
Harry Wilson, I didn't have him start just because of what we've got up front. Just because of if he played the false 9, then probably Harry would have been the one, wouldn't he? If he'd adopted what we all didn't want him to do. Thankfully, he played Kiefer, and it came off. So I thought Kiefer was excellent in both boxes, which is the most important part of football, right? But yeah, there's Harry Wilson there who'll step in, like we said, with the weather how it is. Brooksy, Harry Wilson, I think Nico and Connor Roberts can chop and change. I think there's a lot. Ethan can step in.
It's quite strong. We've got a good backup there. Good backup there, haven't we, really, when you look at it with Brooks, Ampadu, Wilson, Williams, all ready to step up and come on. So, and it was always going to be a tough game, a bit of a, all first game in tournaments are, everybody's a bit edgy, nobody wants to get beaten. So I think having gone that goal down and the Swiss looking quite strong at one point, I thought we did really well to get a draw out of that. And obviously Turkey getting a bit of a battering, as everybody sort of predicted from the Italians. I mean, the Italians are looking very, very strong, which is what I pointed out last week, I think, Jason, wasn't it?
Yeah, you did, but I think I tipped them.
Immobile to score.
You did, fair play, you did. You did say Immobile, but I tipped them, I think you'll find. Did you tip Italy to win it?
Yes, I did, yeah.
The whole tournament?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
You sure you didn't change your mind like you did last week when you wimped out? When you wimped out of England?
We wimped out of England, going out, definitely.
Yeah. Neil, can I just ask you about whether you think Harry Wilson should start?
To be honest, I don't see any reason why he can't start. The only reason is where are you 3 putting him in? That's my question. Are you taking Gaz, Aaron, Dan James or Kiefer Moore out?
Well, I'm an ex-goalkeeper now, so I'll hand this over to our resident football expert.
I kind of
Jason Hammond.
Well, no. I think actually the way the
that was my phone. That was my phone. The
That's a tenner.
That was my phone. The big. That's my phone. The first one.
Got a tenner.
First one of the podcast. That was my phone.
Tenner.
Greg, the phone's gone off, and it's the presenter that can rock up whenever he likes, Neil.
Yeah, quite right.
The professional one.
I think you find in my contract it says I can do whatever I want.
And I'm just putting mine on silent now as well.
I'm professional. I've already done mine, so there we go. No, Neil, in all honesty, I think that because the way the game started was, and it's documented on BBC website saying that it was a 4-1-4-1. It just didn't look that way after, because we made a few good attacking parts down the left-hand side and right side. Daniel James, I thought, was fantastic. And then we just stopped doing it. That was what really frustrated me, because he was doing really, really well. So again, I think from where I would potentially put Harry in is that is make almost kind of like go back to a 4-4-2, which can interchange and have Harry on the left instead of Varel, have Ramsey and Alan and James on the right, and then play Bailey and Kiefer Moore up front on their own.
You could do. It's not something I've seen us do though at all under Ryan or Pagey, so I can't see us doing it. I can see why you would do it to fit them all in.
Yeah,
100%. I think I was doing something with Hal Robson-Kennedy recently. He did a similar thing where he dropped Ramsey in with Joe Allen, but instead he then put Brooks in further up.
Okay.
So it's horses for courses a little bit, but I think this is what they like to do, which is the back four, which when you've got possession turns into a back three, where Ben comes a little bit more inside, DJ stays high and wide on the left, Connor or Nico will go high and wide on the right, and they try and build up that way. That's the way they like to build up. It's a way of being a 4 when you're defending. It's a way of being a 3 when you're building up. So it just causes them problems. And then you should have Joe and Joe there to control the game behind and let people go. But yeah, a little bit difficult, lads. I can't see him doing that. I know everybody would love to, because we're looking at players sat on the bench going, he can affect the game. He can affect the game. He can be brilliant in a Welsh shirt. But looking at how they want to be as a team, I can't see that happening.
The reason I asked you about Harry Wilson is because we ran a poll earlier today and we asked Harry Wilson to start or relatively same side against Turkey, and a whopping 62% said Harry to start. And that's because I think he's that type of player, isn't he, where he can affect a game. And, you know, one of the things about Aaron, and you played alongside Aaron as well, is that he was so deep, wasn't he? There were moments in that first half where he was so deep, and we need our best players. We need our most gifted, elegant footballers on the ball. And Aaron's best position is when he's that much further forward, Neil.
Yeah, Aaron's biggest quality is you could put 300,000 people in the stadium and he will go take the ball off a goalkeeper and try and take us up the pitch. That is his best quality as a footballer. It's give me the ball. I was at the Albania game and he was playing bounce passes off the goalkeeper. You know, and he's supposed to be he was a false nine at the time, and that's him just desperate to be on the ball because he can affect games and he needs to feel the ball and want it. And I remember when we used to play under Cookie, the message to him and Gareth was just stay up there. Don't just trust us to get you the ball. I think we've got to do that.
Just going back to goalkeepers there, Neil, and JT here, ex-goalkeeper and expert pundit. What do you think of Wardy's performance? I thought he was outstanding for most of the game. Now, if I'm being super critical, and I know you and him are mates, I think I would have come and sort of tried to get something on that first goal. It's inside the 6-yard box, and I think he's got to make it a bit more difficult. I know it's been whipped in.
Yeah.
It's a great corner. But if it's in the 6-yard box or just inside, even if he just comes and clatters both defender and their centre-forward, I think we might stop that from going in. That's my only... but listen, he's made some fantastic saves in that game, and he's kept us well in the game.
Yeah.
So, listen, I can't really pull him up on most of the things. I think... he's probably won us the game because of some of the saves.
Yeah, absolutely,
definitely.
Yeah.
But so, just being super critical from a goalkeeper's point of view, I want to see goalkeepers come out and clatter people and get.
Do you want
something
that as defenders, Neil? Do you want your keeper to come out and smash it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, nothing makes you feel better than that, does it? But I think as a goalkeeper as well, if the ball's too flat, you are thinking. You can end up causing a goal by coming and not making it, or the ball drops down and gets toe poked in, or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then it's all on you as a goalkeeper, isn't it? Where sometimes you got to let your zonal men do their job. But it looked like they targeted that area a little bit as well in terms of.
Well, they did as well, because I think I noticed on a couple of occasions before that, in the corners before that, we've got somebody on the far post as well, haven't we?
Yeah.
And that was the only time I think they put an extra player in the box, which meant. Whoever was supposed to be on the back post, I can't remember, but he wasn't there anyway, and hence the forwards got in, got a glancing header, and it's gone in.
Yeah, but he played really well. I'm pleased for Danny. Between the three of them, they're terrific goalkeepers, all three of them actually. And I'm pleased for Danny. He obviously came in very late for the Slovakia game in the last Euros, got the call up on the day where away was going to make it, wasn't fit, and he performed well that day as well. And it's great for him. I'm delighted for him and his family, obviously being a Wrexham lad as well.
What's he like as a lad? What's he like as a boy?
Yeah, great lad, typical Wrexham lad, typical goalkeeper, a little bit nuts. But
You've got to be a nutter to be a goalkeeper.
Well, we have to go down at people's feet, don't we, with our heads?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But then you don't have to run either, which is nice.
Run? Got some stories about running. But no, yeah, I mean, the Swiss put up a decent fight.
They were the better side, weren't they? Overall, they were the better side on the day.
Yeah.
So, Neil, obviously, we've seen a few other games now. Anybody else? Any other teams caught your eye? Obviously, Italy did really well in their opening game. I think they were most people's favourites.
I mean, it hurts to say a little bit, but I've got a couple of mates obviously in the squad. England looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I think against Croatia, they were nobody in the country would have picked that team.
Yeah. There was a few surprises, wasn't there?
Everyone's right there. 2 options of teams down. They wouldn't have picked that.
Oh. But what a good selection headache Southgate's got there, though, with all those players and that quality. I mean,
I think he'll change it. I think he'll change it for Scotland.
He will, won't he? Yeah.
A couple will come in. Yeah.
Just a quick question for you, Neil, as well, is the fact that when I heard the England lineup, I couldn't believe that he played Kieran Trippier at left back. I couldn't get my head around it when he's got Luke Shaw, who's just been voted the player of the year for Manchester United, and Ben Chilwell as well, who's just played in a Champions League final, and he plays Trippier at left back.
Yeah.
I thought that could have caused them a few issues, but it didn't, to be fair.
Yeah.
And it kind of worked for them as well, because he played really well.
Well, he has. He played really, really well there. He played well there in the last competition for them, didn't he? And I think it honestly, as a fullback, it's not difficult to do. Like I did it in the Olympics, where I played right back for 3 games, and Craig Bellamy played in front of me. And actually, you see when Kieran Trippier takes that touch inside and plays the ball down the line,
absolutely,
it's actually easier for people to time their runs off you because when the touch comes inside, they know that's your stronger foot and where they need to run.
Good point.
And I think he does it really, really well. And then defending, it's much of a muchness really as the other side. So he obviously trusts him a lot, and he really, really values him. So fair play to him.
Well, we had Jermaine Beckford on last week for the first show that we did, the pre-show, and he was dropping lots of clangers about Leeds United, and along steps Calvin Phillips. I thought he's man of the match. He was everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And fair play to him, fantastic.
Yeah, credit to Bielsa, actually, what he's turned a lot of them players into.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it's down to him. And
do you think Grealish will get the nod against Scotland, Neil?
I hope so. Chaps. I'm not going to say this lightly. In the last 12 months, he's become a footballer that is right up there. And I'm not saying it in terms of what people have seen in games or on TV or whatever. I'm talking about training sessions, right? There's only people before like Gareth Bale who have stopped training sessions because they're doing things that are above and beyond us mere mortals, right? Wow. And he is getting to that level of footballer. I think you've seen it when he's pulled on an England shirt as well. But for Villa, especially, everyone knows how much we missed him as a team when he was out. But he's got better. From the Championship years, he was the best player in the Championship. He had good levels, but he's now become obsessed with them stats of scoring, of assists. And he's gone up another level. He's doing things in training that's like, wow. And I think not many players do that. I know there's a lot of good players, not many players do that.
Yeah. So we're asking everybody that comes on the show, who's going to be their winner of the tournament and who's going to be the top goal scorer. I've gone with Italy and Immobile.
I've gone Italy, Kane.
Kane.
And I've gone France and Mbappe.
Who did Jermaine go for last week?
He went for
Mbappe.
Mbappe and Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, 3 of us have gone Italy.
I'm going to go France winners, Cristiano Ronaldo, top goal scorer.
Oh, nice. Yeah, solid. I see what he's done there. Gone very solid.
But you see, this was one question that we had last week as well, Neil. It was one team that normally goes out early doors, and a big team. You know, we've seen it before with France, with England, with Germany. They've gone out at the group stages, and most people's recommendation to go out early was Portugal.
It was, and yours was England. Then it changed to Greece, and then it changed to everything else. So,
who do you think, Neil?
Who's going to go out early?
Yeah.
Well, who are the surprise names then? We're talking Spain, Germany, Italy, Portugal, England. Is that about it?
We thinking it's coming from that group of death, obviously.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. France, Germany, Portugal, Hungary, Group F, Group of Death.
I'm going Germany.
Germany.
Wow, yeah.
We've left Belgium out of all. No Belgium mentions it.
We haven't mentioned Belgium. Yeah, no one's tipped them, have they, so far?
No, they beat Russia, didn't they? 3-0 the other night.
None of us have tipped them at all.
No.
And that was without Hazard and De Bruyne.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Well, they've got a great squad, haven't they?
They have. As well as Italy. I think Belgium and Italy were the only teams to qualify, 10 wins out of 10. They never lost during qualifications. And I think they both scored about 40-odd goals each and only conceded a couple each of them. And obviously Italy have continued that. They haven't conceded a goal in 9 games. Italy, and I don't think they've lost since 2018.
But we're talking to a man who knows what it's like to beat Belgium, of course.
Yeah,
there he is.
That's right.
There he is. You know what it's like to beat them. And you beat them twice, didn't you, Neil? Because you played in the qualifier as well, didn't you?
Yeah. We've drawn against them a couple of times. We've beat them a couple of times. We are their bogey team, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Just take us back to that night. Because obviously we've been watching pictures of Hal Robson-Kanu and that goal as well, and Vokes's header as well.
Yeah.
But when you watch it back, Neil, do you have to pinch yourself?
I do, actually. The whole tournament as a whole. I mean, even just looking at it now, I was watching the England game the other day and they were talking about, the last time they got to a semi-finals and that. I'm thinking, this is England. And they're talking about how long it's been since they got to a semi-final and stuff like that. I'm thinking, we were there. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it is a madness moment. I do wish, the longer it's gone on, I do wish we'd have gone further and we maybe could have. Obviously, Aaron and Ben being suspended. Aaron was a big one that night in the semi-final. But that Belgian night was just like, if you could bottle it up, right? If you could just bottle it up and keep it in your house. That feeling
Surreal.
is just...
It's one of those moments where you can remember exactly where you were. And I can remember I was in my kitchen cooking lobster.
Listen to you. I was in my kitchen. What sort of podcast is this? I was in my kitchen cooking lobster.
I was.
Can you believe this? I'm so sorry for this, Neil. We've invited you on a podcast. I said to Neil, it's a great podcast, couple of lads, keeping it real. And he comes out with, I was in my kitchen cooking lobster.
I was.
I know you were.
I remember it. I remember where I was as well because it was that burnt and horrible and awful.
On the lobster.
Yeah, you couldn't forget it.
Can you believe it? Wow.
Listen,
Showstopper that was.
Look, Neil, we really appreciate you joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Legend.
And we'll look forward to listening to you as the tournament goes on the TV and the radio and what have you.
Well, he's in studio for the big one.
Yes,
against Turkey. Yeah, he's up there with Mark Hughes as well, isn't it?
Mark Hughes, Ashley Williams, yeah.
Sparky.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that big game, and it's a big game. Can't go down to Italy.
It's a must win.
Yeah.
We win, we're through, basically, aren't we, to a certain extent?
Yeah. How far do you think we'll go, Neil?
It's tough to tell. It's really tough to tell, and I honestly don't know. The only thing I would say is every time we attack, I feel like we're going to score. And that's the biggest thing. I still know we've got match winners on the pitch, which even when Switzerland are going forward, I thought that Mbolo was brilliant the other night. But even when they're making it into the box, I'm thinking, are they going to score or are they not with us? I know we've got clinical players, see, so I back us. Let's say quarters, right? Shall we? Let's go for it.
Quarters, yeah. Anything else is a bonus,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have to ask you this as well, but Grealish, I mean, for me, and we've talked about this, haven't we, when we've done shows together, for me, he is one of the best midfielders in Europe right now. You have to put up with him in training. How good is he, Neil?
Well, I mentioned I think he's one of the best players in the Premier League. That's a fact. He's certainly up there, one of the best players I've ever played with. And like I said, there's very few moments in my career where I've played and trained with people who have done things that are like, wow, you are above and beyond this level of... I've played with players who were at Swansea and Gylfi Sigurdsson got to a level and Wilfie Boney got to a level, and played with players who were really, really good and you knew they were going to move on to the next level of football. When I'm talking about Jack Grealish, I'm talking about a player that can get in the Gareth Bale sort of category. If he continues the way he's going, he's that good.
And do you think if any big offers come in for him, do you think that Aston Villa will take it?
Well, I can tell you now, Aston Villa will not want to take it, and they don't need the money. However, you just never know, do you? The amount of money we're talking about here, and if clubs have been watching him and know the same stuff about him that what I know, they're going to want them. He would get into every top 4 team, I'll tell you now.
It's the same situation we've had today, really. We've been asking for some questions for the podcast today, and one of them was about Kiefer Moore as well. And if he keeps banging them in, somebody's going to come in with a ridiculous offer for him, and I can't see Cardiff City turning it down, that sort of money.
No, me, I agree.
Yeah, Euros can do that for people, so...
Yeah.
The Cardiff fans want him to do well or not, I don't know, but...
Yeah. Well, we've always sold our best players, so we're used to it. Fact. We've always sold our best players. You know, I know fans who've been going down for like 40-odd years, and they will say the same thing. No. He
was just released.
No.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Once he was injured, we just sent him to Yeovil. We just said, any chance you could take him.
That's right. You got 2 cornettos and half a curly whirly for
We need to save 200 quid. Would you have Gorman?
I thought it was Forest Green. Did you not go to Forest Green as well? Did you go for it? No.
One day, yeah, they had to get some lobsters from there.
Via Ashton's Fish Market.
They've got a new manager, Forest Green. Did you know?
Have they?
Yeah, Roy Quinoa.
Oh, goodness
God.
I do like it.
That's why you mentioned Forest Green. There we go. Thanks, Neil.
No problem.
Listen, Neil, again, big thanks. Really,
brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Neil, and hopefully you can join us again one day at the very difficult second series.
The tough second series, which hasn't been commissioned yet.
It's like Alan Partridge asking for a second series.
Neil, you're a top man. Thank you so much.
Lovely.
Good luck on Wednesday for the coverage.
Yeah, take
Top
care.
man, Neil.
Top man. Thank you. Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Oh, I tell you what, you know Harold Bishop?
Yeah.
He, I once had a bag of chips with him.
Greg,
There you go, Greg. Yeah, there you go.
So I was in Melbourne for the Commonwealth Games, and we went to Ramsey Street to do a little preview of the Commonwealth.
You're in where?
Right?
Melbourne for the Commonwealth Games.
Commonwealth Games, 2006. And we went on a guided tour. And they said, come and meet the cast. So we did some interviews with them. And it was like Labour Day, I think it was, like a bank holiday. So there was no canteen. So they turned around and said, we'll go down the chippy and go and get you some food. So we're like, all right then. So we got like a big tray of pie and chips. And Paul Robinson, Stephen Dennis, he came in and said, Jason, here's your chips. This is a true story now, right? And I'm eating my chips and there was a tap on the shoulder. And Harold Bishop tapped me on the shoulder and said, would you like some ketchup? Would you like some ketchup?
Would you like some ketchup? That's another episode.
And we had a little chat. And
would you like to? You got to tell that story on here.
What?
On the Harold Bishop.
I just told you it.
Oh, I see. Sorry, no.
I think Greg was recording. Yeah, he's recording.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Chips with Harold Bishop.
Right, guys, I must mention just quickly, right, friend of the show, regular listener, Stuart Kane got in touch with me just if he could have a shout out. So here's your shout out, Stuart. Stuart's the author of the Man Friday books, The Life and Times of Robin Friday. So go ahead and check that out on his socials. And just a little shout out to Stuart. But we had some great other questions in, didn't we, Anne? So apart from Pittman Lewis, his winning question, we had some fantastic ones.
We did indeed. We had a really good, fantastic question from Ian in Cardiff. He basically wanted to know what we thought, and the listeners as well, what the best Euro kit ever. Now, his was the Italy '92 because the exquisite partnership with, arguably one of the best mullets in football post Kevin Keegan.
He's exactly right as well with that. The Italy kit of '92.
And why is that, JT?
But it was super. It was not my personal favourite, but I mean, I can remember that kit very well. 1992, what would I have been? 22, and it was Diodora, wasn't it? Diodora.
What a brand they were.
And we had
Are they sponsored the podcast?
The Diodora. What were their trainers? Borgs. Were they Borgs?
I'm not sure.
No, they weren't Borgs.
Diodora Borgs.
No.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember.
Jason
will look it up now.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
I think I'll be very surprised if I'm wrong.
I had a pair of Diodora boots, actually, the black boots with the green stripe. Fantastic, they were.
But the tracksuits, the tracksuits were quality, weren't they?
Yeah, he's right, Diodora Borg.
Yes,
that
I told you.
There we are.
There you go.
Yeah, there we are. Nice as well, white.
Whites. And you had the gold ones as well.
Yeah, you can get gold, red, blue.
Yes,
yeah,
pair of them. And obviously the Diodora Italian shirt. So amazing shout that from.
Look at Jason, his 80s casual classics.
Yeah.
Oh, the Sergio Cecchini, the Fila Borg.
Cecchini?
Cecchini.
Cecchini.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Sergio Cecchini.
Yeah.
Well, we wore Sergio Tacchini.
Yeah,
but you
I
obviously
did as well.
went down Bessemer Road Market and got Sergio Cecchini.
He got some Tommy Hilfinger stuff like that.
I once worked with someone who, in their glove compartment, right, they had an aftershave.
So
the toilet, right? And he, no names mentioned. This person is a household name.
Okay.
You know them, right? And I was in the glove compartment, and I said, "What's this for?" He said, "Well, before I go on, I have a little spray," and it was called Fire and Heat. It was a rip-off of Fahrenheit. Christian Dior. It was called Fire and Heat. Fire and Heat.
Oh my God!
Household TV name.
Jesus.
Sprayed himself with Fire and Heat. A rip-off of Christian Dior's Fahrenheit.
It's like calling Dior Savage.
So how is your friend Robbie Savage anyway? Actually, I think, Jason, because haven't you got a story about Robbie Savage? Tell us that story.
Do you want to hear that story?
Yeah, I want to hear that story. Go for it.
Okay. So basically, I won. And so basically, that's what happened with Robbie.
You're joking me.
I can't believe that.
That's,
Are you serious?
Yes, that's exactly
no
that
way.
happened.
I literally just fell off my chair.
It actually happened.
Oh
it actually
my
happened.
God! No, I mean, if that doesn't, if we don't win awards just for that alone,
Exactly.
then there's
I've
no
got tears
justice.
streaming down my face. By the way, I've just noticed your shorts, Chase. Bluebird shorts.
Yeah, got a bluebird
Good boy.
shorts on.
Good boy.
Yeah. Oh, go, mate. I'm up with it.
You're down with the kids.
So going on to the best Euro kits, my personal favourite was the Holland Ruud Gullit.
Fantastic
Van
kit.
Basten.
Yeah.
Was that
it was like orange and it was a bit faded as well, and it had the triangles
Yeah, it
on
was a bit eclectic, wasn't it?
88.
Yeah.
88.
Yeah.
With the big black Netherlands lion on there.
Yeah.
You've gone with Holland. I'm going with that Germany kit, the Germany one from 1992, I think it was. It's got the black, the orange, and the red going right across it.
Yeah, nice
in like a
kit.
V.
I
think it was the Rudi Voller era.
And I do agree with you because I love the goalkeeper's top as well, the Adidas goalkeeper's top.
Yeah.
Apart
Vintage.
from that and
I'm just showing the boys on my laptop.
And the other goalkeeper's top, which was quality, was the Peter Schmeichel one with all the pink yellow dots on it.
Oh, yeah, that was wicked. Yeah.
Do you remember when we were that close to getting to, I think, either Euros or the World Cup, and West Germany came and played us in the Old Arms Park?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Andy, who owns QTS Supplies, one of our sponsors, he's got Jurgen Klinsmann's top.
Is he
still,
really?
German.
From that night? That's that era?
From that night.
So basically,
I'll get him to send a picture to us now.
That was the European Championships because Rushy scored in 91.
Yeah.
So that was the European Championship campaign when we beat West Germany.
Yeah.
He's just
when
pushed
Rushy
me.
scored.
Yeah.
What's he done?
He's just pushed me, he's manhandled me.
Yellow card.
Well,
listen, I'll give you my answer, and I think I can just go across the board with Croatia. Whatever kit they come out with, absolutely fantastic.
Davor Shuka, remember him when he was in France '98 scoring those goals?
The squares are not squares.
And it's so recognisable, isn't it?
Fantastic.
When I was at the World Cup in 2018, right, we went to do Croatia against Argentina. Big game. Croatia beat them 3-0. Mm-hmm. This was at the World Cup in 2018 in St. Petersburg. And who was I pitch side with that night? Me and Danny Murphy that night. And basically, when you got there to St. Petersburg, it was magnificent. It was just like 20,000 Croatian fans. They were all in the red and white.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. Right,
That's the most memorable for me.
The other great time I had, you'll love this as well, being a wing-back stroke full-back. Mm-hmm. I had a coffee with Cafu once. And,
a coffee with Cafu?
in an airport lounge. And, nice guy, Cafu. Lovely guy. One of the greatest.
Yeah.
Do you want any more celebrity stories?
A bit of brew.
A bit of brew, yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm just dropping these in now just for a bit of fun.
A bit of fun. So should we wrap that up then?
Yeah, I think I've had enough.
And me.
So that's it for our first show. Thanks for joining us. Thanks once again to our sponsors. I need to mention, obviously, Cares at Kestrel Construction, Giovanni at Giovanni's Group, Andy at QTS Supplies, and Hugh at Zenith Print Group. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks to Greg, our sound and audio engineer. Well done, Greg, for putting up with us. Stuart, our music producer and our editor. And thank you, the listeners, for listening. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Yay!
Yay!